Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, True Crime Stories. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can hear more. Thanks for stopping by. Stephen Ray Lawrence was reported missing from the Long Branch area of Wyoming County, West Virginia on December 8, 2012. Law enforcement, including members of the West Virginia State Police and the Wyoming County Sheriff's Office, searched for him and investigated his disappearance. They say that he was last seen at around 10:30 a.m. on December 8th, standing near the entrance of Long Branch Hollow beside of a telephone box. 3 days later, on December 11th, a passing driver discovered Stephen's body in a ditch along County Route 6. This is known as Coal Mountain Road. Stephen was 35 years old. Anyone who has any information relating to the death of Stephen Lawrence is urged to come forward. Now, the next article that I found about Stephen Ray Lawrence was in 2016. There were still no answers into his mysterious death. His mother says she is... Now, this was in 2016. He died in 2012. Despite investigation, there have still been no arrests. Okay. Stephen died from a gunshot wound and blunt force trauma to the head. Mike Cochran, with the Wyoming County prosecutor at that time, said the state police have worked numerous man-hours on this case. His mother says, "I want justice. I want closure. I want to know who did this to my son." So he's last seen standing by the roadway at the mouth of this holler. Was he waiting on a ride? Was he supposed to meet somebody? Did he drive, or was he walking, or had he just gone down to maybe check the mail? Or, there's really not a whole lot else about this case. It doesn't say if he was having problems with someone, if he was being targeted. Why was he standing beside the road? Did someone come along and offer him a ride? Was he hitchhiking and someone picked him up and this person murdered him? Was he robbed? Was any of his belongings taken? Anyone who has any information related to his death can contact Crime Stoppers of West Virginia by calling 304-255-STOP, or you can contact the West Virginia State Police at 304-682-4717. This is just something that came up in my feed on Reddit, and I thought I would share it with everybody. I'm reading this for the first time as I'm reading it to you all. This is from Cold Cases on Reddit. The story about my mom's missing cousin I'm hoping to find out about. Andrew Robert Bliss. Andrew Robert Bliss was from Pulaski. He vanished in June of 2003. He has never been found. He's never been seen again. He was 23 when he disappeared, 6'3" and 180 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes, and he wore dark wire-frame glasses. His left ear was pierced. Andrew left New York and drove more than 1,000 miles west to a remote area in northern Wisconsin. His silver 2001 Chevy Impala was found abandoned on a forest road in a national forest near Draper. When his car was discovered, it was out of gas. The keys were still in the ignition, all the doors were open, and Andrew was nowhere to be found. A truck driver carrying logs reportedly saw Andrew walking along the road that morning and even remembered waving at him, or he waved. I don't know if Andrew waved at the truck driver or vice versa, but he could have been waving to, try to get him to stop. This is believed to be the last confirmed sighting of this man. Now, this would have been on the morning of June 20th, 2003. Now, he had just recently gone through a breakup, it says, and he had quit his job. Family and friends described him as going through some depression, and they believe that he was just wanting maybe to get away. Maybe he was just going to take a drive across the country. Maybe he didn't realize how low he was on gas. Or maybe he deliberately drove his car out to this national forest, left it abandoned, and got out and just wandered off and decided to just disappear. And since no remains matching him have ever really been found in the area, his family, when they were contacted about the abandoned car, told them about what was going on in his life, and that they thought that he may deliberately have wandered away, or some foul play could have, it could have been an accident. He could have gotten lost in this area, not knowing the area. The area was searched by sheriff's deputies, and they did bring in dogs to search, and they did fly over aircraft looking for a trace of him. Now, years later, search dogs did alert in an area, and they thought they might have found human remains, but the bone turned out to be that of an animal. Today, he would be around 46, and the case has been a cold case for 22 years. People in the comments are asking if his mother or any of his close relatives have uploaded their DNA to GEDmatch in case remains are found, or in case he's out there somewhere. He may have had children since then. He may have went on and started a new life, but that's really rare. I mean, it's a nice image to think somebody just did that, but in today's world with, Social Security numbers and ID, it's hard to just start a new life. You can't really even get a job without those things. Now, someone in the comments says it's possible that he didn't open his car doors. Someone else may have come upon the car and rifled through it, looking for money, looking for anything of value. Why would he not have taken the keys with him if he was planning to return to the car? And some other people are saying it's possible that he wasn't really out walking. This truck driver could have just seen someone else, or the truck driver himself may have, done something, may have given him a ride, or someone else could have come along, saw him sitting there, ran out of gas. Maybe he was standing by the car and someone came along, gave him a ride, and something bad occurred. But as of right now, that's all I could find on him. This was posted 2 months ago, so I'm going to just assume that there really haven't been any other updates to that. Once again, I apologize for the background noise. I'm having some work done outside the house today, some mowing and weed eating, and it's probably picking up that sound outside, and that's okay. This story begins on Christmas Day, 2022. My family had gathered the kids to open presents. Me, my husband Chris, and all 5 of our kids. My ex-husband and my husband's friend Adam and my mother-in-law, Virginia, were all there. After opening presents and spending some time together, Adam took the kids to his house so that Chris and I could have some time alone. However, before we could do that, Chris had to take his mother to see some of her family. He left and he never returned. This is the start to my nightmare. So now this is being told by his wife. And this is the story of Chris Spaunhorst. As Chris was driving home on I-24 between the Shelby Street exit and the James Robertson Parkway, a black sedan came up alongside his truck, and someone inside that vehicle shot Chris's truck. Chris went into shock, and he wrecked and died shortly after that. It was hours before I found out about this. I waited patiently for my husband to come home, as we had planned to spend some alone time together before the kids returned. I started to call around looking for him, but no one knew where he was. I called everyone. And then I was watching the news, and I saw on Fox 17 article, a news story, describing an incident that had happened. The article didn't give Chris's name, and they actually had some of the facts of the situation wrong. But I knew in my heart that it was Chris. I began trying to find out what happened. I eventually found out and was able to identify him. At that moment, I wished I had died with him. My world shattered. I called Adam and asked him to bring the kids back so that I could tell them. Now, this was in 2022. For the past year, so I don't know when this article was written, but it just says, for the past year, I have waited to see my husband's killer brought to justice. Now, this took place around the area of Nashville, Tennessee. I know that the Nashville Metro Police Department detectives are doing their best. My concern is that maybe someone knows something or saw something that could help. Maybe they just don't realize that they saw something that day. So a black sedan pulls up alongside this man's truck on the highway, shoots into his truck, and that he went into shock. So he wrecks. Did they find the bullets? Did they find, was it one shot? So it just says that there is a $23,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of the person who murdered my husband. If you can provide any information at all, please call Crime Stoppers at 615-742-7463. The Metropolitan Nashville Police Department's Facebook page. This is dated 2024. Homicide Unit detectives continue working to identify the person responsible for the Christmas Day 2022 road rage murder of Christopher Spaunhorst, age 37. Spaunhorst, a father of 5, was fatally shot while driving his Ford F-150 pickup truck on I-24 West. And that's all this article says. Now they're saying that it was a black Kia Optima sedan, and they believe it was between a 2016 and 17 model. Now, this was 2022. They do have some pictures. They do have some video from like local camera, store cameras, and things like that that they were able to pick up. And the street, the cameras that are on the street lights and things like that. So I don't know if they were able to get a license plate. I would have to guess that they probably didn't. Was this a hit? My question is, was this a hit? And I'm not accusing the ex-husband, but I'm just saying, has anyone questioned him and looked at that angle? So to summarize this video, the first case of Stevie Ray Lawrence in West Virginia, I couldn't find any more information. I couldn't find anything to say if the family had a suspect, more than one suspect, what was going on in his life that they think may have led up to this, or if they believe that this was just some random shooting. I just couldn't find anything else. I will continue to look into that. The second case of the man who drove from New York, his car was just found abandoned beside the road with the keys still in, and all the doors were open. It was almost like someone had just deliberately done this. Maybe someone was searching through the car for something, or maybe he was searching for something through the car. Maybe he caught a ride with someone in a hasty moment, but I don't think he would have gone off and left his car like that unless he wanted it to be found that way. And I couldn't find a whole lot more information on him or his background other than his family saying that he had recently gone through a breakup and that he had quit his job. It sounds like he was possibly dealing with some mental health issues, and I just couldn't find a whole lot more about him either. In the last case, it just seems kind of somewhat suspicious that this happened on Christmas Day. This man's friend took his kids home with him so that he could spend some alone time with his wife. And some people might look at that as to say, okay, they wanted to make sure that the children were safe and not in the truck with him at this moment. But keep in mind also, he was taking his mother and dropped her off with some family members. So does the family believe that this was some type of a deliberate, intentional killing of this man by someone that he knew? Did he have some issues with someone? I mentioned the ex-husband. I don't know what was going on there. Or do they believe that this was just some road rage, random Christmas Day shooting by someone who was just really in an angry mood, or maybe this man cut him off in traffic or something. I don't know, but I'm going to continue to look into his case as well. As this video comes to an end, I would just like to remind everybody to please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.